Oh wow, don't I look good today? Anyway, this just came in through the mail, so let's take a look at it.
Please enjoy tonight's feature film.
Friend told me about this because I was looking for another MAME or emulator with guns, and he said try the retro shooter Pandora box. And as a lot of people know, I have all kinds of emulators and MAMEs and all that stuff. So uh, most problems with emulators is duplicate files, and a lot of games don't work. But let's open up this bad boy. He's nosing around. Is that a bomb in there? Huh? Alright, they always check, make sure it's safe, right? Alright, let's open up this bad boy. So there's what it looks like. Two guns, they're separated, you gotta screw them in. I don't know what this is yet. Okay, these are the little sensors for the gun. You got your cords and that. So before I start tonight's review of this, we're going to talk about people that do bad reviews, and I'm going to tell you something. The first review is always the worst review. You just got to give it time. So I'll give the best review as I can on this, but let's talk about the bad reviews that people are doing. Okay, so before I forget, underneath this you have pedals, adapter, and the main computer box, HDMI and stuff. So really nicely packaged. There's different deals you could get. They have controllers, Nintendo controllers and some other type of controllers. I didn't get those because they're usually what you call knockoff controllers, and they're just okay and not the best. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my arcade room and talk about bad review, when people do bad reviews and don't know how to do it. Okay, so as usual, before I always buy something, I always review it, and you have to get a little bit into detail about it, because for example, sometimes I might put 1 star versus 5. One actually shows it's bad, but they think 1 means great, and then you have to read the description. Then you got other false reviews and stuff. Same thing with videos. I was a little disappointed seeing this retro shooting arcade review, and today I'm gonna give you 3 examples, 3 people that do not know how to do reviews. Person number 1, he did an okay review, but you never want to live stream it. The reason being is the audio and or the visual could go bad, and it makes it look like the game, which it isn't. But the other thing too is he doesn't really talk about it. He just answers people's questions on what type of games are on it versus, you know, checking it out and doing some other mechanical issues and looking at other stuff. You always want to make a actual video describing everything and showing everything before you do anything live. Now the second person, oh my god. This guy, I guess, buys arcade games, and what he does is he vacuums it out or he wipes it down with a rag, and then he claims that he fixes it up or rebuilds the arcade machines, which is, that's just cleaning it. And then he hires his friends and or contractors to come over and fix his arcade machines, and then he claims that he rebuilt it. No, you did not rebuild it. Now the biggest thing about this guy is he plugs all his arcade machines into one circuit, and when he turns on or off his switch, he blows his circuit, and he goes around saying, ha ha ha, I will catch my house on fire and my neighbors. I mean, do you really trust someone like that to do your reviews? I mean, that's kind of stupid, you know. And then when he does the review of the retro shooter, he just plugs in controllers and that. I mean, that's not really a review, that's a how-to video. More likely, I'm pretty sure people know how to plug things in, and it's not that difficult. And another thing he does, he thinks because this clicks, that means it's a good review, and it's got nothing to do with clicks. It's reaction time and the wiring behind this. So the third review that people do that are bad is when they don't even own the machine. And this happens a lot with Arcade One cabinets, where they just read the specs or they look at pictures, and other things like the Jackery. They don't own it, test it, or do anything about it. An example, a review I'm going to do later is on a Jackery, which I had over a year. I thoroughly tested it. The specs say something like 4 hours, 5 hours, you could charge it by solar panel, and that's not true. And then you got people just reading the specs. They just think, you know, it automatically recharges in 5 hours. So they don't own any of the products. The best thing about me is I am an electrical engineer, went to school for electrical engineering, and I was an electrician, and I worked in manufacturing, so I have hands-on experience with this stuff, and I know exactly what to work for. So those are the bad reviews that I seen on YouTube. I think people are just doing it mainly for views, and they do not know what they're talking about, and they do not know what they're looking for. So let me go ahead and I'm going to start reviewing this retro shooter for you. And remember, the first review is always the worst review. You got to give it time. So this review I'm giving is going to be pretty bad because I just opened it up. I just got it, and it takes time. So let me see you upstairs on the big screen. Okay, just a temporary hookup here. There's the sensors just thrown up there. Down here is the box, and just throwing on top of my games until I clean this mess up. So let's go ahead and test this out. I'm going to use the blue without the pedals. Here's what it looks like. I'm probably going to plug in my own game controller here. Okay, so anyway, you got the little controllers here. Got a button. Here's the joystick to move it up and down what game you want. Okay, so I hooked up my PlayStation USB to this, and it works great so far. You might have to configure it. Well, let's go ahead and test some of this. So the first game we're going to play here is Mortal Kombat.
Round one. Fight.
Now we're going to test a little bit of light gun. It's got a recoil on it, which is cool. say it, G. How could anyone do this? G! James, I tried. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a B plus. Not picking on too much. That I don't like these things on the sensors because you can't really hold it straight. I don't know if they can really do anything about that. Not a deal breaker. You know, I tighten it and then it still kind of falls a little bit, but oh well. But anyway, the other thing I find out was House of the Dead and maybe some games have a little bit of graphic issues if you notice the little tiles moving around and such. But I'm going to say this is a really great system to get. I would recommend it. That's so far because, as I always say, the first review is the worst review. And I kind of looked at the guns and stuff like that, kind of felt it. They feel pretty sturdy. The wiring feels great. The little box, you know, as you know, I played some games on it. Pretty decent. It just takes a little time to get used to the controls and such. And I plugged in my PS4 USB gamepad in it. Never had any too much issues with it. Worked just like that. So anyway, that's my review. I think it's like $300 or $260 is what I got it for. And as I said again, they got other packages like couple different game pads. I wouldn't buy the game pads. I wouldn't say you really need it. I would just buy one USB Xbox controller or USB PlayStation controller, because if you get other emulators, you could just transfer it to those. And again, I don't own the Nintendo or their controllers there, so I can't say too much about it or really review it. And I really don't like, I think they're made by Bluetooth or something. I don't like wireless controllers. But anyway, that's going to do it. So hope everyone has a great day, and hopefully this is a very helpful review, and game on.
I hope you enjoy tonight's film feature. Please make sure and check out my other videos. Have a great day.
You know, these apples here,